It's now Wednesday, week 33, day 2. We got some exciting and nerve-wracking news last night. Very exciting and nerve-wracking news. Not towards baby. Baby's fine. Baby's still wriggling like mad. My next appointment is tomorrow with the midwife. And so far, my blood pressure's still fine, my urine's still fine, everything else is still fine. I've got no signs of preeclampsia, so all is good. The good news is actually in relation to Jason. One of the career routes Jason has wanted to go down for a very long time now is to be a first aid trainer assessor. He's done first aid since we were teenagers. I've done first aid since we were teenagers. Granted, my knowledge of it and update of it is a lot rustier than Jason because he does his every single year without fail, or every time he needs to renew it, he does it without fail. He has a very, very up-to-date knowledge on first aid. I trust him more than anyone when it comes to being there to save a person's life if absolutely necessary. But for a long time now, he's wanted to be a first aid trainer assessor. It must be for at least 8 years, if not more, that he's wanted to be a trainer assessor. And he's one of the few people that could probably do it easily and flawlessly. His knowledge on first aid is unbelievably strong. The only downside is trainer assessor jobs and trainer assessor training doesn't come around very often. It's one of those jobs that because not a lot of people need it or not a lot of people do it, or even a case of cause it's very niche, there's not many jobs. It's kind of a dead man's job, if you know what I mean, where you have to wait for someone to leave a position or you have to wait for a position to be created before you can get into that role. Well, yesterday he finally got the opportunity. He got an email to say that they are looking to train a first aid trainer assessor for in-house, which would time into a 12-month contract, but then he could take that first aid trainer assessor absolutely anywhere and it would really help towards his goal of becoming management in a leisure facility one day. He applied for it, or he put forward his interest. Apparently he still needs to have interviews and stuff like that. They're just gathering the applications at the moment. And he got an email back saying, yep, no problem, we've got your name down. We've added you to the list, so you will be looked at and potentially contacted in regards to interviews and capabilities and whether or not that's going to be good for you. The training is taking place on the 19th of January to the 23rd of January. The 19th of January is Minion's due date. The training would take place on the day that Minion is due and for 4 days afterwards, which obviously is extremely bad timing. So me and Jace had a chat about it last night and I said to him, at the end of the day, you've been wanting to do this for years. This is an opportunity that might not come around again for another 10 years. Do you really want to miss that opportunity? And he said no, but at the same time, if Minion comes on his due date, I also don't want to miss the birth. I don't want to miss all that. I don't want to not be there to support you, which melted my heart a little bit that he really, really, really wants to be there when Minion's born. So we were a bit not too sure what to do. And after a while, we agreed that he's going to go for it anyway. And we're just going to hope that I am right and Minion is going to be late, or for whatever reason, they decide to induce me and Minion has to come early. We want him to either be really early so that Jason can spend a good few days with us as a family before he has to go do his course, or we want Minion to be late so that Jason can do his course with ease. And then obviously we can go through the whole rigmarole of having a baby. So it's an interesting situation to be in, to say the least. And we've just got to hope that everything falls into plan and that Minion is late. The only thing that concerns me is if the doctors and midwives start faffing and start talking about inducing him early and him coming early, which I really don't want. I really don't want. Currently nothing wrong with him. He's perfectly happy, he's perfectly healthy, he's getting all the oxygen he needs, he's getting all the heart blood he needs. I'm getting as much nutrition as I can for him. Granted, I'm probably not eating nearly enough protein. I don't actually think I'm eating anywhere near enough protein, but I'm also still struggling to eat chicken and salmon. I'm getting better with the salmon though, and he's trying to eat some again tonight. But yeah, that's put a bit of a stick in our plans. Everything was going so perfectly and something was like, I'm going to give you a nice little obstacle to get over. I have to say as well, I did have a great night's sleep last night. I had a really good night's sleep last night. I had very minimal tossing and turning. I only woke up once to go to the toilet in the night. However, I did wake up really, really late. I didn't get out of bed until like 9:30. I just couldn't wake up. Could not wake up. My body was happily snoozing away. Minion had a few kickabouts every time I woke up, or every time I woke up in the night to go to the toilet and stuff. Minion had a few kickabouts and pardon me, the burps don't stop. And a few wriggles. He's having a wriggle actually right now. So things are going well. Things are still going very well. We'll see how the midwife appointment goes tomorrow, but so far, knock on wood, everything is still on track for things to go well. I think I mentioned it earlier, I do need to start packing my hospital bag soon. Part of me wants to do a pregnancy Q&A, but I also don't feel like I've got enough followers to do a pregnancy Q&A, so not too sure what to do there. And there's now 2 weeks till I go on maternity leave. 2 weeks. That's it. That's all I've got left. 2 weeks of work and then I'm off on maternity leave, and I can actually finally get my videos caught up because I'm going to have lots of time over Christmas and New Year, hopefully, to get the video editing done. Hopefully that means that by the time I actually come to give birth, I can actually release my birth vlog on time. That would be fun. That would be nice. As for today, I've got 2 walks today. I've got my usual Wednesday crew. So I've got Coco and Basil in the morning and Hamish and Archie in the afternoon. And then I've not got anything on for the rest of the day. I'm going to see how I feel when I get home. I know I'm going to do some video editing. I need to do some video editing because I'm still running behind. I'm now 10 weeks behind. Oh no, I'm back down to 9 weeks behind instead of 10 weeks behind after my week of missing last week due to the birds. But I also want to get some exercises done, but I don't want to overdo it at the same time. But then I'm not exactly doing very heavy exercise, so we'll see how I feel. We'll see how I feel when I get home. Anyway, I'm going to finish my breakfast and get out to the dogs. I'll see you guys when I get back.
So if you can't tell, I'm out on my first dog walk, and I wasn't actually going to vlog any of my dog walk today, but I have had a slight miscalculation. I say a slight miscalculation, I don't know what I'm saying at the moment. My brain's not with it today. Too much, I can't tell if it's too much sleep or not been awake long enough, but basically, as I've said recently, it's getting really, really difficult to tie my shoelaces recently. Not too bad getting the shoes on, but bending over to tie the shoelaces is getting difficult to the point where it's actually causing a bit of pain in my stomach because of the actual crushing of my belly, trying to lean over to one leg to actually do my laces. I tried it today, I got my boots on, bent down to tie my laces, and it was not happening. It was just too painful on the stomach. It was not happening at all. I was getting far too breathless and I could not for the life of me tie those laces. So we've had to make adjustments and we are now in our wellies. I am finally having to resort to slip-on shoes, in this case wellies. Oh dear. Come on, Cookie. So yeah, that's the stage we're up to now. We are up to the welly stage, we're up to the slip-on shoe stage, because I physically cannot bend over long enough to tie my own laces. Which means that most likely in the next few weeks, possibly by Christmas, I'm going to be at a point where I need Jason to help me get my shoes on and off. But we'll see. I've already got a pair of Jason's flip-flops ready to take to the hospital with me so I can wear around the hospital, because I don't own flip-flops. I don't own sandals or anything like that. So I've got Jason's ones instead to help get me by. Wasn't expecting to get to this point. I've been trying so hard to be as independent as possible for as long as possible through this pregnancy, and we are finally at a point where I may need to start asking for help. On the plus side, I can still get up and down off the floor on my own. I can still do a squat off the low step on the stairs. I can still squat up from somewhere low down if needed. So I'm counting that as a win for now. Good boy, Daz. Anyway, I'm going to finish this walk and get home and see what the rest of the day brings. So it's currently Thursday, week 33, day 3, plus 1, plus 2. Yeah, week 33, day 3. I had to think about that. The day 4. No, it's definitely day 3. Brain's not working today. Yesterday and today didn't quite go as planned. I got home from work yesterday and I had every intention of doing some exercises after I spent some time with my girls and Jason. Jason had the day off yesterday, so he went to get his car MOT'd, and then after he got back from his car MOT, he chilled out and he gamed. So I spent some time with him, spent some time with my girls, did some training with them, and then put the girls to bed, got something to eat. And I had every intention of doing my exercises at 7 o'clock. I had planned, it was in the diary, I was going to stop video editing, I was going to stop doing anything I was doing, and I was going to do my exercises from 7 o'clock. And then at 6:30, morning sickness hit with a vengeance. I don't know why it just suddenly hit me. I don't know whether or not it's because of what I ate, just didn't mix well in my stomach, or whether or not it was something else, but it came with me with a vengeance. So I ended up vomiting for a good 20 minutes, or feeling horribly nauseous, and then vomiting for a good 20 minutes, and then feeling rotten afterwards. So I decided to forego my exercises because I wasn't healthy enough right at that point to actually do them. I felt horrible, I felt awful, I felt nauseous, I felt wet. So I didn't end up doing my exercises yesterday night for that reason. We got an early night to bed. We went to bed at 9 o'clock, read my book for a couple of chapters and snuggled up to Jason, fell asleep. Had a good night's sleep. In fact, no, I slept semi-well last night. I tossed and turned a few times, but I only got up like twice to go to the toilet, and then I woke up at 9:30, shattered. Even though I'd had like a semi-good night's sleep, I woke up shattered at like 9:30. I was about to say 9 o'clock, and it was definitely after 9 o'clock when I'd woke up because Jace had already got the parrots up. I woke up absolutely exhausted. Hi Archie. What you doing? What's up? He wants to know why I'm not tickling his back. Are you finished with yours? I've got both of them now. Hi boys. Are we done? Have we had enough? Is it time to go back on lead and carry on with our walk? Yeah? Back on lead, off we go. Come on. Time for our trek. So like I said, I woke up just after 9:30. Absolutely shattered. Not long after I woke up, I got a phone call from the community midwives because I was meant to have a midwife appointment at 11:10 today. And they said to me that they've got a lot of staff sickness at the moment, and so they're very, very short staffed. And as a result, they're having to cancel my midwife appointment for today and reschedule it to another day. I said, yeah, that's fine. I know it was meant to be next week, but my midwife's on holiday. Boys, don't trip me up. See, this is what they do to me. They wrap the lead round the back of my legs every time. Like I said, I knew I was meant to have my appointment next week, not this week. But my midwife was on holiday next week, hence why it was meant to be this week. And the week after is Christmas week. Is it the week after this Christmas week? It's not long after this Christmas anyway, put it that way. I was fine with it because I was like, it's fine, I'm tired anyway. I'd much rather just get food and go to bed. So that's exactly what I did. I got up, I got breakfast. By the time I finished breakfast, I was falling asleep at my desk again. So I thought, stuff it, baby clearly needs the extra rest today. Let's just go back to bed for an hour. And I thankfully only had the one dog walk today. I only ever have one dog walk booked in when I've got an appointment in the morning. Or sometimes, depending on what appointment it is, I cancel the day altogether. It wasn't too big of a deal if I went back to bed for a couple of hours, or at least 1 hour, because the Scotties only ever get walked after 12 o'clock anyway. So about 11 o'clock, I went back to bed. I was conscious through the entire nap. I was awake, I was mentally alert, but my body was gone. My body was asleep. And it did not want to wake up. It did not want to get up at all. And I ended up napping for 2 hours. And then Jason very kindly came and woke me up before he left for work at 1 o'clock. And so now here I am out with my dogs, being the menaces that they are. And I'll be honest, I'm still tired. I could have easily stayed in bed today. Third trimester exhaustion is weird because you're not exhausted. Or at least I find I'm not exhausted. I am some days, but usually I'm just super tired. I just want to go back to bed all the time. I'm not exhausted, I can still function. Everything is just more effort, more energy. If you go off, say the spoon theory, the average person wakes up with 10 spoons. When you wake up pregnant, you wake up with 5, and everything is a spoon. Everything is a spoon. Getting up and down off the floor is a spoon. Going up and down stairs is a spoon. Going out to work is a spoon. It takes a lot of energy to do a lot of things during the day, and I think that's where the exhaustion comes from. Is it takes so much out of you to actually just get your day done. But there is now 9 working days, 2 weeks left, or 9 working days from today until I start my maternity, which I'm very excited for. This being work day number 10. There's 9 work days left to go, which is tomorrow, all next week, and then 3 days the week after. And that's it, I'm done, and I'm on maternity leave. My God, I cannot wait. As much as I don't want to stop my dog walks, and I do love my dogs, my God, I am ready for the rest. I am ready for the break. I am very much ready to wake up every day, not having to worry about work, not having to worry about having to get up, get dressed and get the dogs out, not have to worry about whether or not I can have time for a nap that day, not having to worry about whether or not I've got time to do video editing or anything else, because I'm going to have time. I am going to have a lot of time to do video editing, which I'm very excited for because I can actually go and find a catch up. But that's how my day's going so far. In all honesty, today I am still pretty tired, pretty low energy today. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I don't know whether or not... I know I need to do some video editing. I really need to do some video editing tonight because I was meant to do it last night and I got lazy. Well, in fact, no, it was the morning sickness that did it in for me last night. What the frick was that noise? Anyway, it was the morning sickness that did it in for me last night. I was not in the mood to do anything after that sickness. Oh, I'm meant to be going BSL choir tonight. Damn it. Oh, I really don't have the energy to go. I might have to cancel that. I really don't want to cancel it, but I might have to cancel it. I do not have the energy to go. I'm still so tired. My clients have clocked onto it as well. One of my clients yesterday said to me, "You look really tired at the moment." It's like, well, I have had a colitis flare, which means I'm currently anemic. And on top of that, I'm pregnant, so anemia and pregnancy, not usually a good combination. Sorry, I had to put my camera away for 2 seconds while I spoke to someone I regularly bump into on these walks. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I am meant to be going BSL choir, but I think I might cancel because I'm shattered. I am so freaking tired. So I don't know if I'm going to get any exercise done tonight. I don't know what the rest of it is going to spell for me. I just know that I really want to go back to bed. Oh, look at him! Look at him, he's in a wheelchair! He's running around playing fetch. Oh, you're such a cute doggy! Look at him go! Go on, doggy! Go on, boy! Oh, such a good doggy! Look at him go! So this is also happening at the exact same location. Okay. So it is now week 33, day 4. And yes, I'm in the exact same spot as I was yesterday. And I've got slightly different dogs. I've got Basil and I've got Archie with me today. I'm tired. I am so freaking tired. The last few days have been so difficult because with the anemia due to my colitis flare last weekend, or the weekend just gone, and also just the sheer pregnancy exhaustion for third trimester combining, I'm knackered. I got home yesterday and I was so freaking tired. I didn't even end up getting my girls out. I just literally got home, got something to eat, got them their tea. I did a bit of gaming just to try and keep me awake a little bit longer because I didn't want to go to bed too early, because if I went to bed for a nap I wouldn't sleep, and I know I won't, because if I have a nap too late at night I never sleep. So I didn't want to go for a nap, so I played a game to try and keep me awake. I ended up getting an exhaustion and dehydration headache because I'd not had enough to drink due to how much I've been sleeping. Just the sheer exhaustion from the anemia was also causing a bit of a headache. After 3 hours of gaming and the headache starting to kick in, I came off, went upstairs, grabbed my book, read my book for a couple of hours, got something else to eat, went upstairs and grabbed a shower because I've not had a shower in days. I've been neglecting self-care because of the tiredness. I've been so sleepy. Showers have not even been on the register. And then after my shower I just crawled straight into bed, read my book, and then ended up reading till like midnight because I couldn't turn off. The story was getting good, the chapters were getting good. I didn't want to put it down. I wanted to read the next chapter, I wanted to know the next little bit, so that's probably not helped. But I did get up somewhat on time today. I got up just before 9, still tired, still exhausted, even though I had a good night's sleep, and I did have a good night's sleep last night. I really didn't want to come out on my walks today. I was just so physically exhausted. I just wanted to have breakfast and go straight back to bed again. But I couldn't do that. I had to come out on my walks. I need the money. I've had to cancel another one of my dog walks next week because of my midwife appointment getting rescheduled to Wednesday next week, right in the middle of the day, so I don't have time to do my dog walks. I don't have time to get the morning group out, and I don't have time, or I'll be too late for the afternoon group by the time my appointment's finished. So I've had to cancel another day's worth of income, which just happens to be my busiest day of the week, which was not nice, but it is what it is. We can't control it. Plan for today at the moment is to get this dog walk finished. I've got about half an hour left. I'm just having a quick sit down just so I can try and regain some of my energy, and then once I'm done here I'm going to go home. I've got a banana with me so I can have a snack before I get home, and hopefully that'll last me long enough so I can get a nap when I get home before I need something else to eat or before I need a bigger meal, and then have something to eat. And then for the rest of the evening I'm just going to video edit because I've not been able to video edit for the last 2 days from pure exhaustion, and that's going to be me for the rest of the day because I'm just so tired. I've got so little energy. I actually woke up with a bit of energy this morning. Getting dressed and getting my breakfast wiped all my energy. I'm not even kidding. My spoons were gone by the time I got dressed and got breakfast. I also had a bout of morning sickness this morning. It's just ridiculous. My gag reflex is so easily triggered at the moment that causes the vomiting. The thing that triggered it this morning, I don't know how well you can hear me from the wind, but the thing that triggered the gag reflex this morning, or triggered the morning sickness this morning, was while I was eating my breakfast, one of my hairs fell into my food. That's it. That's all that happened. One of my hairs fell into my food. I pulled it out, put it in the bin. That was enough to make me vomit. That was enough to trigger a morning sickness spell. Ugh. And it's one of those, I've not had bad morning sickness while I've been pregnant. It does happen just randomly and I can never predict what's going to trigger it. I've had scales on salmon trigger it, or a scale on salmon trigger it. I've had gristle and fat trigger it, which is quite common for me. I've had a hair in my food now trigger it. I've had a piece of seaweed stuck to the roof of my mouth trigger it. I've had a pepper it was a dried pepper that just happened to be a little chewy. That triggered it. One of the days the eggs triggered, like my eggs that I eat every single day. One of the days my body just decided, don't like it today. The eggs triggered it. I can't predict what's triggering the morning sickness because it's something slightly different every single time. It's just what my body deems edible that day or not, or whether or not my body doesn't deem something safe. I have no idea, but it's annoying and it's irritating. But it's only once or twice a month compared to what most women have to go through. So I'm grateful for that at least. The fact that I'm still having morning sickness in third trimester is irritating, but it is what it is. I have a ridiculously vivid imagination and I have a ridiculously easy to trigger gag reflex when it comes to imagination and food and stuff like that. All I have to do is think. All I have to do is imagine eating or swallowing a slug and I can make myself vomit automatically just from that one thought. It's ridiculous. I'm going to stop chatting because, like I said, I've got a quiet day today. I'm mainly going to focus on napping and video editing. It's going to be a boring rest of the day and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. I've got a BSL choir performance both on Saturday and Sunday, but I've got the rest of the day free, so I am hoping to do some stretching and exercise tomorrow or Sunday. We'll see what the weekend brings us.
It's still Friday, week 33, day 4. I've not long woke up from my nap. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm still quite drowsy. The iron tablet I had this morning definitely helped keep me alert during my dog walk and on the drive home. I had a banana while I was out with the dogs so that when I got home I could go straight to bed, and I've been asleep for just short of an hour. But I was getting a bit cold and I don't sleep easily when I'm too cold. But I still managed to get some kind of a nap in. And now I'm pretty drowsy. But I was getting hungry, so I decided to get up and get something to eat and get some video editing done. I'm currently doing week 24. Why am I so cold? I am so freaking cold today, and I don't know why, because it's not actually that cold. It's no different to temperature to what it was yesterday, and I was fine yesterday. But for some reason today, I'm really cold. Like really, really cold. I've got thermal socks on, I've got my PJs on, and I've got this great big thick like warm thing on, and I am still cold. And my temperature, even my temperature is normal. My temperature is normal. I'm not hot, I'm not cold, but I feel freezing cold. Like I literally feel like I'm about to shiver from cold. But I'm gonna get something to eat, do a little bit of video editing. I'm gonna get another early night tonight because I am so drowsy, so freaking drowsy. I'll just see what mood I'm in tomorrow. I do want to do some exercise, I do want to do some stretching, but I'm just too tired today. Far too tired today. My anemia is definitely playing up at the moment because of my colitis flare last week. I'm just so ready to sleep. I'm ready to sleep the weekend away. So it is now Sunday of week 33. Week 33, day 6. I think I left you guys on Friday. Hang on, sorry, 1 minute. Brain's rebooting. Brain is rebooting. It's been a difficult few days. It's been a very difficult few days. Friday, as you know, I was exhausted. Jason came home. We mainly had a chill night, and for about 3 days, I'd been getting mild headache aches. Not severe headaches, just a little tension in the brain. With the headaches and the morning sickness, I was genuinely starting to worry I may have early signs of preeclampsia, which started to worry me a bit. So I tried to think what else it could be. Now, obviously I was recovering from a colitis flare. I'm still recovering from a colitis flare technically, because it does take about 2 weeks to heal. I was constipated, which can also cause headaches. I was slightly dehydrated from work because I just had not been awake long enough in the day to get enough fluid down me to be hydrated. And I was beyond exhausted because of pregnancy and the anemia. The anemia that always triggers anytime. Triggers? What the hell is triggers? Triggers every time I have a colitis flare. So unfortunately, the pregnancy exhaustion, plus the general exhaustion from work, plus the exhaustion from the anemia and my colitis flare, I was knackered. I was beyond tired, and I was wondering whether or not this headache or the headaches I've been getting were hydration and exhaustion headaches, which I do get. I do get headaches anytime I get overexhausted or I get overtired or I'm dehydrated. I had a BSL choir performance on Saturday. I decided that around my BSL choir performance I was going to test this theory. I was going to basically take the day as a full-on rest day around my choir time. Problem was, on Friday night, Minion got very active. He was very active Friday night. He was wriggling around in my stomach quite a lot throughout the evening and running around and gurgling, and I was getting all sorts of sensations in my stomach. I went to bed early. I decided I was going to get an early night and try and get as much sleep as possible. I started reading my book and I was just getting ready to put my book down. It was about 11 o'clock, maybe 10:30, and I was just about to put my book down and Minion started really wriggling, which is normal for him. He usually gets wriggly around 11 o'clock at night and then usually settles down after about 20 minutes and I can go to sleep. So I thought to myself, well, this is going to continue for about 20 minutes. I might as well read a little bit more of my book until he calms down. So I read a couple more chapters and he didn't calm down until close to midnight. Finally, he calms down. So I turn off my book, I go for one more toilet run, I turn off my lights, I get back into bed, and out of nowhere, the minute my light goes off and I am down and I am all curled up ready to go to sleep, he decides to start a rave in my belly. I am not even kidding. He went into full-blown motion mode. He was punching and kicking and stabbing, and he was, oh my God, he was going absolutely crazy, and he was punching my stomach like a punch bag or kicking my stomach like some sort of athletic kickboxer. I am not even joking, he was going to town. It was very uncomfortable, very sharp pain. Well, not pain, pain's the wrong word. Like someone was constantly prodding you very hard in the stomach. But it was very uncomfortable. And I could not sleep through it. So I thought, it's okay, he usually calms down in 10-15 minutes, all will be fine. I'll just have to put up with it for 10-15 minutes, it won't be an issue. I was wrong. I was very wrong. This boy battered my stomach like some sort of Thai kickboxer for over an hour. Over an hour. It started around 12:15 and he did not stop until close to 2 a.m. I'm not even kidding. He did not stop for nearly, that's going on for nearly 2 hours. Jeepers creepers, how did I survive through that? But either way, he was active. He was really freaking active and he was going to town. So because of that, the earliest I managed to get sleep was 2 a.m. But the problem is, by this point, I was overtired. So second wind had hit and my brain didn't want to go to sleep. My brain was suddenly very, very active and just staring at the sky, having songs going through my head, thinking about tomorrow, what I was going to do, blah, blah, blah. My brain was on overdrive. Absolute sheer overdrive, and I could not switch it off. So I didn't get to sleep until around 3 a.m. Next thing you know, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. because I need the toilet, because I hadn't been in the toilet since midnight. So I get up at 4 a.m, I go to the toilet, I come back to bed. Guess who gets active again? Little baby in my belly gets really wriggly once again. Not as bad as he was earlier, but wriggly enough to keep me awake, or to make it uncomfortable enough to keep me awake. Don't know how much sleep I got Friday night, but it wasn't a lot. It was not a lot. I was awake for most of the night. And if it wasn't Minion keeping me awake, it was my brain keeping me awake. If it wasn't my brain, it was my body, because I was tossing and turning because I could not get comfy. It was a whole rigmarole Friday night. I did not sleep. So when I finally woke up, I think I woke up about 9:30, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. I messaged my BSL choir friends and said, I'm really, really sorry. There's no way I'm going to make the performance today. I'm done. I've not slept. Baby's kept me awake all night. I am physically not capable of doing anything. And luckily, a lot of the BSL choir have children themselves and are, granted they're older ladies now, but they do have children themselves, so they do understand what it's like to be pregnant at this stage. And they were all really, really understanding. They said, don't worry, Ash, just look after yourself, get loads of rest today, just don't worry about it. So I figured, while I've now got the day off, I'm gonna test this theory that I'm severely dehydrated and exhausted and that's what's causing the headaches, and basically do nothing but drink a shed load of water and sleep for most of the day. So that's exactly what I did on Saturday. I woke up, I got breakfast, I necked a brew, I necked a full pint of water, I got a banana, I went straight back to bed. I slept for nearly 4 hours straight that afternoon. And the only reason I woke up is because I really needed to eat again, and I knew if I didn't eat, I wouldn't have enough calories to support Minion that day. So I got up, I went downstairs, I got something to eat, and then I just chilled for a few hours with Jason. We got an early night again. I think we went up to bed about 9 o'clock last night. I read a few chapters of my book, settled in for the night. Minion did get a bit wriggly again, like he usually does, but not to the extent he did Friday night. I still struggled to get to sleep. I still tossed and turned quite a lot last night and I struggled to get comfy, but I at least managed to get some sleep, which is better than nothing. And because of that, we are now on Sunday. I am still very tired. I am still very, very tired. I didn't sleep well again last night. It was a lot, like I said, it was a lot of tossing and turning and rolling around, and I'm still very, very tired. I should have had another BSL choir performance today, but it actually got cancelled early in the week because where we were doing the choir performance at a care home, I believe. And unfortunately the care homes come down with flu and they don't want me to risk catching it, and they don't want the elderly members of the choir catching it either. They actually recommended that we don't do the performance, hence the performance got cancelled. But yeah, that's been my weekend so far. It's been a challenging week this week because of the colitis flare last weekend and because of recovering from the colitis flare last weekend. It has been a very difficult week. It has been a very, very difficult week in terms of exhaustion, fatigue, tiredness. It's been a battle. It's been a real battle. Now that Minion's movements are getting stronger and more, what's the word? Sharp, very sharp. It is becoming harder to sleep at night. It is getting more difficult to sleep at night. Restless leg syndrome is going crazy at nighttime. Anytime I try and lie down, my legs start twitching and fumbling and need to move. Leg cramps are getting worse. My calves keep seizing up randomly when I'm trying to sleep or first thing in the morning. And it sounds like I'm complaining and moaning, but this is just part of pregnancy. This is just some of the side effects we have to deal with when we choose to get pregnant. Is it annoying? Yes. Is it irritating? Sometimes. Is it downright painful? Every now and again? Yes, it really is. But you know what? I do it all again. It's like I've not even got Minion out of me yet. He's still in there for another, hopefully 6+ weeks. But I've loved every second of it so far. It's been a challenge. It's been an obstacle course of medical and mental and emotional roller coasters. But it's been fantastic. I'd do it all again. I'd do it all again for him. And I've not even had him yet. I've not even gone through the hardest part of all of this, which is the last few weeks, the labour, the delivery. I've not even gone through the hardest parts yet. And I already know I would do it all again if it means bringing him into this world. As for today, I do need to do some exercises and some stretches because I've not done any in days because of the exhaustion. And while I actually have a bit of energy, I do want to try and get some done, but it's only going to again be gentle stretches, light exercise. I might go on a walk if the weather behaves. At the moment it's very cloudy and gloomy, so I'm a bit about going on a walk. But I do need to do some stretching at least for my lower back and also my hips because my hips have been a bit tense the last few days. But we'll be doing that later today. For now, I'm just going to eat, I'm going to get some video editing done, and I'm probably going to start my exercises around 3 p.m, give or take. Ish. Because at least that way I've got time to, if I need it, have a nap and then potentially get some food down me.